Chicken and chorizo is a wonderful combination, and I'm going to show you this chicken and chorizo rice bake, which is really simple. We're going to pan fry our chicken. We're using chicken thighs. So these are the Simply Better corn-fed chicken thighs. So these are fed on maize. That's what gives it that lovely yellow color, but the flavor is absolutely delicious. So I'm going to heat the pan, and I'm going to heat my skillet pan. So if you wanted to, you could seal off the chicken in the skillet pan, then take it off and then start cooking off your onions. It's a really simple, quick dish. Why chicken thighs? Good value, full of flavour, and for me it's all about flavour, so it is. So I'm going to put some rapeseed oil into the pan, and I'm going to put some rapeseed oil into the skillet, so I am, okay? We will put a little bit of butter in a moment, and what I'm going to start to do is just to pan fry the chicken skin side down. We want to get that nice, that's what you want to hear, that lovely kind of like sizzle when the chicken goes onto the pan. Now you can do this with chicken breasts, you can do this with the supreme of chicken, which is with the wing bone on. I'll just turn down this. I want to season up my chicken, so I'm using this really nice Oriole sea salt. So that's the status there, it's from Clogher Head, so it's the PGI status, really nice sea salt. Some butter, you know me and the butter. That's going to go in there, and we're just going to let that cook for a few minutes. So into our hot skillet now, 1 onion sliced. We will put some butter in there. We're going to crush in some garlic. So about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic is going to go in there. Just give it a little stir first of all before you add in the garlic. So that's 1 large onion, you know, peeled it, sliced it. You can chop it. I always usually peel it. Always peel it, but I always slice it. I think it looks well for this. And you can use red onion in this. So a couple of cloves of garlic, crush them in there, and we're just going to start the cooking process of this. So it's a really simple, delicious kind of a 1-pan dish, even though I am using another pan to seal off the chicken. I'm going to put some butter in here now, because the butter gives all the flavour. So we're using the rapeseed oil. So this rapeseed oil, everyone, is one of my favourite oils. It's from County Louth, Derry Karma rapeseed oil. So it's one of the first producers that I got to meet when I was going on my journey, meeting the producers around Ireland on behalf of the Simply Better team. So they really grow, they're wonderful because they grow all their own rapeseed, they cold press it. You must have noticed me putting in some butter there. So I'm going to let this just start to cook now for a minute or two. Just be careful because the garlic can burn very easily. Let's have a little look at our chicken. Gorgeous, okay. So there's a nice bit of colour there. So skin side down, that looks lovely. Give that another wee minute. And I think the key is using the really nice rapeseed oil, and then of course you have your butter in there, which is gorgeous now. Just a little bit more. Okay, we're going to sprinkle this then with our rice. So this is some long grain rice I'm using. So sprinkle that all in there. And we want to glaze this. But what I am going to add into this, I am going to add in some lovely turmeric, which will give beautiful colour, wonderful flavour, and will work really well with the chicken dish. So this is some of the organic turmeric. They do curry powder, they do lots of lovely flavoured salts, harissa paste, Cajun spice, all that. So I'm going to literally put 2 in here, which will give lovely colour. You could use saffron if you wanted to. And then we're going to add in our chorizo in a moment. Okay, let's turn our chicken. We'll stir this through. That's gorgeous. Lovely. So I'm not cooking the chicken, I'm just sealing it in. Look at that beautiful caramelization. I'm going to switch that off now, because the chicken I want to cook actually in here. So we're going to coat the rice with the butter, the oil. You have your onion, you have your garlic in there. And then we're going to put in our chorizo now in a moment. Okay, lovely. So that turmeric is really excellent, and be careful because it can stain. If you have a white top on you or you're bored, wash it, wipe it straight away. Okay, so this is some sliced chorizo from the Iberico. The Iberico is the black pig, it's fed on acorns, and it's a really fabulous product. So you'll get a lovely hint of smoked paprika, some garlic, spices, that kind of thing. So I'm literally just going to chop this, and I'm going to use the full packet in this. Now, if you want this as a little antipasta, you could have it at room temperature and then just serve it with some nice olive oil, some nice balsamic vinegar, and also some really nice crusty bread. Works really well. So this is going to go in here. So I'm just cutting it into little cubes. Doesn't really matter what size. Now you can buy obviously the little log, you know, the little tube of the chorizo. I'm just using this for this recipe here, and it's going to go in all in there. Just wipe my hands. Now let's turn up this. We're going to deglaze this. So can you see the way the turmeric has coloured the actual rice and the lovely colour from the chorizo, which would be beautiful. Okay, some white wine. That was a full bottle before I started, so I don't know who was at it. It wasn't me. Might have been Imelda. Was it you? Only joking. So we're going to deglaze this here. So what we mean by that is just you're pouring on the white wine. You're going to cook this, and you can see the colour now, the lovely colour from the chorizo, the turmeric, all that in there. Okay, so just let that cook out for a moment. Now we're going to put in some stock. You could use thyme, tarragon, whatever like that. I'm just using a stock cube is fine. Some chicken stock. I've sealed off my chicken thighs, and I always think using the chicken thighs, you get definitely more flavour. So you definitely do. And I think on the bone might take a little longer to cook, but trust me, it works really well. So we just bring this all to the boil here. Okay, so you can see that lovely colour there, the sliced onion, you have the garlic in there, the chicken is sealed off. I'm just going to lift it in the chicken. I'm just going to nestle that in there. So you're working on roughly about 2 chicken thighs for a main course, and obviously this, you're going to have a lot of rice here, so you could actually bulk it up, so you could you know, serve 1 chicken thigh and lots of rice. So some vegetables that I think work well in this, I'm using some frozen peas, work really, really lovely. So I'm going to put this in, it's just going to come to the boil. You can use some baby spinach, or you can use some artichokes. So with the baby spinach, I just literally put it at the last minute, so you're just wilting it. You could use sweet corn, whatever kind of vegetables you like using, red peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, they'll all work really, really well in this. So I'm just going to literally sprinkle in the frozen peas just all over here. Okay, they can come straight from the freezer, and then we just literally stir this through here, and that's it done, guys. It's as simple as that. This needs to come to the boil, which is happening here. We're going to place it into the oven. I already have one done. The lid goes on. So this here with the skillet pan can go up to 200 degrees. It's tempered glass, and it's a really nice pan. I really like it for risottos. I've done pasta recipes in it, and for this one here, it's perfect. So I'm going to lift out the one I've done, and then I'll just play musical chairs. I'll just move the pan there out of the way. So this needs to come to the boil, and then we have one here, and it takes 20 minutes at 180. Now just be careful when you lift it out. It is hot. I'll switch that off. And then this is going to go back into the oven. So this is the raw one I'm putting in. 20 minutes should do it at 180. Just make sure that it's cooked through, and I'll show you how you test that. Okay. So this is very, very hot. The moment of truth. Lovely. Okay, we're getting all that lovely. See the way the rice is fluffed up, which is exactly what I want. And then you have your chicken nestled in there. You have your rice there. You also have that really nice chorizo. And then we're just going to finish this with some chopped parsley. You could add in some spinach, so it's totally up to you, you know, to put whatever vegetables you like in this. So I'm just going to chop the parsley, just showing you the technique of chopping. So we're going to use Italian flat leaf parsley. I'm going to just wipe my knife, and then you gather all this up here. So you curve your fingers using a big knife. We're going to chop it quite rough, doesn't have to be too fine. So we're using the bamboo chopping board, and then this little rubber mat stops the board from moving. So it's a great little addition. So this is part of my cookware, so it is, that we're using here, the knives, the boards, and also the saucepan and the pan. So I'm just going to sprinkle this all over here, and this will add lovely freshness to it at the last moment, and then we can just serve it up. So just getting a nice big spoonful of the rice. Look at that. So it's really the turmeric. Be very careful because it is hot. You can see the steam coming from it. So that takes 20 minutes in the oven. So let's just get one of those nice little drumsticks. Look at the colour, especially against a white dish like this. I think it looks really, really well, really appetizing. It's a very good value dish. You know, if you can't get the chorizo, you could use some of the Simply Better smoked bacon. Works really well. And I mean, like, that's actually a generous portion, if you can see that there. So you have that lovely chicken thigh there in the middle. And how do we test when it's cooked? Actually, I meant to show you. You get the point of the knife, and you go right into the middle of the chicken, and you know that's cooked when it's coming through like that. So it's not the idea that the skin is going to be crispy, by the way. It's going to be succulent, it's going to be moist. The chicken, all the flavours from the turmeric and also from the chorizo are going to go in there. So just a little bit more, and you're not going to be hungry after this. So remember, 20 minutes in the oven. Just serve that, knife and fork, get in there, some crusty bread if you want to. The chicken thighs, I think, are the key, but you can use chicken supremes, which is the wing bone on, and also you can use chicken skinless fillets or skin on it as you want to. So onion, garlic, lots of lovely rice, mix it up with different vegetables. You could put in some of the baby spinach there at the last minute, deglaze it with some white wine and stock, and that's actually a very healthy dish. So enjoy this chicken and chorizo rice bake using really good Irish chicken. It's board beer quality assured, corn-fed chicken, and then that lovely Spanish chorizo that gives that lovely smokiness there. Okay, so enjoy this. Happy cooking, everyone, and yeah, I hope you try this recipe.